All right, all right. It is a very special podcast. One of Wingman's original clients back from the Long Island days, almost 15 years ago. I have Doug Connell from Island Associates, Tozzolo Construction, and the latest pickleball guy. So, Doug, welcome to the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, Tom. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
How's your pickleball skills going these days?
It was good. I played this morning with our favorite person.
Who's better now, Bryce or you?
You already know the answer to that question. I don't think I need to tell you.
Can you beat him more times than not?
I think so. If you ask him, he's gonna, he's better than me, of course.
Bryce. Yes. But overall, we know that you're the winner in the game.
I think so, but yes.
Are you guys good partners in doubles, or are you better being on the opposite teams?
We play good together. We don't play bad together. We play pretty good together. So I enjoy playing with him. Yeah.
He's an old racquetball guy too, which is funny because all of us.
Well, we used to play racquetball. You know that
before pickleball became a thing. So
exactly that's why.
So I love the fact that you guys started out playing pickleball just as a hobby and have turned this into a business.
Now it's a business, or it will be soon. But yeah,
I saw the store. I saw the picture of the store the other night that you guys texted over. It looks awesome. I'm super excited for you guys, and I think that it's
very exciting.
I think it's going to be a great thing, and you're going to bring some retail back to a world of online shoppers. So that's great. But you also have the website. You have the Shopify store too. So I'm glad that all that worked out to get all that up and running for you guys.
Thank you. Yes, we hope so.
So you are one of the first entrepreneurs I know from, when I first started. When I first started, I met you early on, and you were ready to take on the world. And 15 years later, you're still ready to take on the world and still taking on the world. So you decided that college wasn't your thing, and you were going to start a business at 18 years old. And so kind of tell everybody how you started out and what you started doing, and then we could go into all the add-ons you've added along the way.
I started cutting lawns when I was in high school. I worked for a landscaper, cutting lawns and, gardening stuff, doing that stuff. And then I tried college. Wasn't for me. I lasted a couple of months. And my mother said, well, if you're not going to go to college, you better get a job.
And you were an excellent lacrosse player, too. So
I was a good lacrosse player, yeah.
So college could have been very discounted for you, too.
Could have been great. But I didn't want to go. I tried it. It wasn't for me. And then that was it. That spring, of, 99? I think it was the spring of 99. I handed out, I think, 350 flyers. I walked around myself. I handed them all out. I think I got 28 customers from it. And that was it. Off and running.
In true DC spirit, you know every metric. You always remember every random number that there is. You got it.
I remember. I do. I have a good memory.
So you have 28 customers. You're cutting grass. Your mom says if you're not going to college, you're going to get a job, or you're going to work, or you're going to own your own business. You decide owning your own business is the way to go. So you have these customers. Now you're maintaining them. You're adding on customers, I'm sure, as time has gone on. Now you decide, though, I know from my history with you, you decide getting into the masonry and the pavers and the brick is where you want to be, huh?
Well, it was 99, and it was probably right after 9/11. It was like 2002 when pavers got big around that time. Everyone was putting in pavers, and that's when the paver rage really started. So everyone was doing them. So I was getting customers asking me if I did it, and I did a little patio with one of my buddies, and in 3 days, I think I netted like $5,000, and that was it. I was building patios.
You were now the patio guy, and you knew everything about
expert. Yep. That was it.
And since then, so now you have Island Landscape, which is a higher end landscape design and masonry company on Long Island, and that's going good. And then 2009, what happens? You decide that you're going to add on.
Well, you were with me at that time.
Yep.
You were a consultant. So, I told you what I wanted to do. And you actually said to me, well, what you really want to do is the Lexus Toyota model, which is Island Associates is the Lexus and Tozzolo & Son Construction is the Toyota. And that was it. So Island, like you say, is more of a higher end masonry, landscape design company, and Tizzolo is just kind of meat and potatoes and your neighborhood mason guy and
Middle class America.
middle class America. Yep.
And
that was it.
And that was a good move. I remember when we first started it. How did you come up with the name Tizzolo? Let the audience know.
Well, the competition that I was going against at the time, they were all Italian names. I'm not going to mention any of them, but they're all Italian names. And I was like, you know what? Let me think. And you said to me, isn't your mom Italian? Your mom's Italian, right? And I said, yeah. And I said, you're right. And my grandmother's maiden name was Tizzolo. That was it. So, I called her up. I asked her if I could use her name. No problem. That was it. Tizzolo was born.
I love it when in the old days when people thought like it was Frank Tizzolo from the old neighborhood, and but in the meantime, you really took an opportunity and kind of seized it, because again, you didn't want to lose that middle class America customer, that average person who was just looking for a simple driveway, walkway, patio, that wasn't looking for what Island Associates was offering its customers at the time. And you said, wait, I can do this, and you wrapped some trucks, and you had a crew doing that, and it opened up the market for you. And in some of the leaner years, that company has done very well.
It has. It's done very well, and now it really stands by itself. With I have 2 trucks that are just Tizzolo trucks, and they go out every single day, and they're totally separate from any of the other crews, and that's what they do.
Yep, and they're just knocking out the paver work, driveways, walkways, patios, stoops, and just doing their thing. And I think the best part is that you said it, they're standalone. So you took one business and you added, with a little bit different marketing plan, which I think is interesting for a lot of businesses. And again, a lot of businesses don't want to discount or devalue their services, but they also know that they're losing potential customers and potential leads because someone doesn't see them, they don't see them, the prospective customer doesn't see themselves in your target market. In your case, the higher end landscape, you were losing jobs in your own backyard, in Massapequa to people, North Massapequa, where people weren't thinking that, you were their guy. But meanwhile, you brought on a crew. And the best part about what you did is you're still using the same, you're using labor that's been taught and trained by you. So it's like they're getting the best of both worlds. They're getting the best labor at the discounted price. So Tizzolo provides an excellent experience for the customer.
Absolutely. Everything you said, right on. Yep.
I don't think that at the beginning, when we first kind of came up with this concept, that you were even thinking that. But I think as time has gone on, your training process, your onboarding process with your employees, your coaching and everything like that, it's across the board. So the customer just gets the benefit of that one at the end of the day for that.
100%. Absolutely. Because I wasn't getting those customers before, like you said. I wasn't capturing them at all because they would never call that Island, the higher end company. They just never called me. So
what's interesting at Wingman, kind of a sidebar. It's not the same as Island and Tizzolo, but Wingman, we don't get like the lawn sign lead or the guy who's looking to get 100 door hangers. So we put up a print only website, just again with our same address, just under the name Lawn Signs for Less. So, and now we're starting to get those small leads, because I think when people go to Wingman, they're like, this guy's not going to print 25 lawn signs for me. But meanwhile, we're very happy to provide that service to the customer. But I think when they go to the website, they don't see that is a option for them, or they're going to say, oh, this job's too small. But realistically, it's it's a different crew, it's a different person to handle it, and it's very easy for us to handle. So by putting up a little website like that, we've captured those people too. So not to the same scale you've done it, but I think what you've done is awesome there. But then you took it another level.
I did.
So what happened with the irrigation customers that after you were installing your bushes, trees, and plantings?
They were dying. So obviously whatever irrigation company they had wasn't doing the right thing, or they didn't care. So I started an irrigation division, and we did that. And I bought another service irrigation business a couple of years later. So I service everything we plant because I warranty it for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So that works. And then obviously now I have a big service company where I have 2 service guys that just do service from, April to December, you know?
So it started out, the idea was you wanted to make sure that your plantings were getting serviced the right way because you had a warranty on these people. So
Yeah.
these people are calling you and saying, "Hey, Doug, my plant died, my shrubs died, all this new stuff you just put in my backyard." And you're like, "Wait a second, how is this happening?" Because when you planted it, you gave them instructions on how to maintain the work that you just installed.
Correct.
But
And they
people
weren't
weren't
doing
getting
it.
that done, and people were losing plants that you are now having to pay on.
Absolutely.
So then you
So,
decided, might as well do it myself, and I could guarantee my own work because I'm protecting and servicing it.
correct. I mean, it was a little bit of a learning curve. We never did irrigation before. So with the techs and me, it was a little bit of a learning curve. It took, a couple of years, but we're
But
great
now,
at it
but now
now.
you're servicing hundreds of customers across the island, correct?
Yeah, we service like 1,500 customers. So yeah, we know what we're doing. Now we do.
That's
So it's
awesome.
good.
But I mean, again, another add-on. So, I think one of the great things about you and your business is, like, a lot of entrepreneurs think that they have one business under control, let's go get another one. But I think in your case, you've stayed within your niche. Like, you know what you know how to do and you do it well. And instead of going out and buying a different type business, like a food service business or other type businesses, you're staying within the trades, within the landscape, within the home service, and you understand the customer and you understand what it means to be in their home and in the outside of their homes. I mean, so is that kind of where you see yourself staying, or do you have that appeal to go buy some business outside of what you know?
I'd love to buy a business outside I know, but it's not really going to be. It's not going to be a winner in our world as far as financially, and obviously to buy the business and the whole thing. It just doesn't make any sense now. But back in the day, as you know, Tom, I've always consulted you and asked you,
I know. I've been
what
to
do you
how many
think? What do you
restaurants
think?
have I been to? How many quick,
Oh,
fast
a million.
casual stores have I been to on my trips to Long Island over the years? I mean, I've been to. I watched them make salads
We've
over
been
in
a lot.
Massapequa one day.
We almost bought that. Remember?
That was close. That was real close.
That was a close one, but
In this day
I've
and
done a
age,
lot of
though,
crazy things.
within this day and age, I don't know that food services. It's a tough market. It's low margins. It's
Very low margins. A lot of
and
turnover.
you have a lot of turnover, and to maintain an employee there is just hard. It's very hard because people just don't want to do that kind of service anymore.
I agree.
So I think it's just a hard game to play in, and everybody's a keyboard warrior too with the reviews. So it's bad enough in our worlds, but at least it's a little more controlled versus, like, I feel like the guy who leaves because he because something didn't go according to plan at a fast casual, he's writing the review on his way out the door.
Yeah, they could blast you, and then that'll ruin God knows what, right?
Yeah, and again, those reviews are Google reviews are so powerful. You know that. I mean, so
They are.
you can't have,
We know.
and again, unless you're going to be in that restaurant or in that space, it's hard because you have a young labor pool that's just that's used to living on their cell phones. I was at a restaurant the other day. I took one of the guys out to lunch from my office, and the girl's sitting there in sweatpants and, like, lounging while she's on her phone, and we're like, "Oh, we need seating." She's like, "Oh, okay, sit wherever you want." It was like, okay, it's a different way to go about it. Not the way I would want my staff trained in doing it, but at the same time, if the owner and the GMs aren't in the restaurant, it's not going to run according to plan.
Totally, 100%. I agree.
So, all right, so we get through the grit of learning how to do irrigation and doing it, and then now let's fast forward a couple of years, and you decide, after becoming a pickleball enthusiast, you want to start in the pickleball game, huh?
I love pickleball. Yes, and
Did
obviously
you love pickleball from the day you started playing?
I did. Yep.
And then what made you decide let's do a pickleball store and, like, let's.
That was all Bryce.
Yeah.
That was actually Bryce's idea. Bryce wanted to open a pickleball store, so it was all him. I don't know about it was a pickleball store if he wanted to start just building pickleball courts for people, because a pickleball court is only 30 by 60, so it's smaller. It's half the size of a full tennis court, which is
Yep.
120 by 60. So we thought, instead of somebody putting a pool in their backyard, where a pool's going to cost you 50,000 plus doing all the masonry around it, you're easily at 100 grand. Remember, if you do a pickleball court, we sell courts, a basic court, 25,000.
That's actually a pretty good price. Like when you think about what you could do in your backyard and how fast that money goes. I mean, you start
Absolutely.
doing some big outdoor projects that well trump that. What's funny is my house is on it's a little wooded and it's got like some hills. But I said to my wife, I go, maybe I'll get some retaining walls and I'll fit we'll be able to put a court in here. And I think she looked at me like I was crazy that day. But
A lot of the courts we're putting in, to be honest with you, they're not even pickleball people. They're doing it as a social thing. They want to get into pickleball, but not one person I think we built 7 already.
Okay.
Not one of the 7 are real pickleball players. They want to do it socially. They do it for their kids that aren't really pickleball players either, and they love it. So
your kids love it now?
My kids love it. We played on Sunday, yes.
Who's the best? Who's the best of the bunch?
Bren is pretty good. My son is pretty good. He can hit it. He's good. He can play.
All right. So, in the midst of, again, we told a great story. Like, you went from this to this to this, but there's been some hardship struggles and some hustling and grit along the way. So kind of, we laid out went from island to island to Zolo to irrigation. But along the way, it always wasn't, peaches and cream and,
it's not what we're making it sound like, that's for sure.
So again, I love the outcome because the outcome is positive. The outcome is you have multiple companies, you have some recurring revenue which you never had. You have you picked up a new market of people that weren't going to do business with your main company. So we told people how to all this the sunshine and all the happy things that happen, but kind of kick into running multiple companies, having the team to support it, having the financials, running 2 advertising campaigns. Like some of that stuff hasn't been the easiest.
Yeah, I spend a lot of money. You know that.
So
I got to spend money. I spend money a lot. I spend a lot in advertising and marketing, as you know, Tom. So it's good and bad. It's a machine. It doesn't end, and it eats up a lot of money every single day, and it's expensive. So,
So, looking back, would you do it again?
I guess so, yeah. I don't think I'd want to do anything else, right?
So, I mean,
I like working for myself. We both know I couldn't work for anybody else. I mean,
that would be a horrible day you having to report to a boss. I mean,
that'd be horrible.
Your boss is your customers and, all the people that you are going to take care of their backyards and their front yards and their stoops and walkways. But I couldn't imagine you having a boss on the day-to-day. That guy would be... that man or woman he'd probably start drinking at the end of the day.
I would agree with you 100%. So yeah, I wouldn't want to. I think I would do it again.
You would tell him or her what time you're going to come in, when you're going to stay till, and all the other things. I mean,
100%.
You are a serial entrepreneur in the sense of an entrepreneur, but on the other side of that, you would be. I don't know that working for someone would be your dream.
It is, and I like to work. I'm a workaholic, as you know, just like you. We work a lot. I work 6 days a week, so it's great. I love it. I don't think I'd want to do it for anybody else, obviously. Hence, I do it for myself, and yeah, I love it.
What's next to take on? What are you gonna what do you see yourself getting involved in after? I mean, the pickleball has got to get started. I mean, you're just in the early stages of the store. When's the building going to be ready to go? Like, when's it going to be ready?
So it's not only pickleball; it's LI pickleball, and it's the backyard store. So it's 2 in 1. So we're gonna have masonry and pavers, and Bryce does his outdoor kitchens and all his sound and lighting and stuff. So that's gonna be all incorporated in the store with the pickleball all together. So it's a pretty big store. It's like a 3,000 square foot store. It's 3,000 square feet.
Oh, nice.
It's a big store. It's a little too big. So. And it's at Walt Whitman Mall, so it's got a lot of traffic, hopefully. And so in that, hopefully, obviously, we could sell some backyards out of that store also. And it's like a home show every day because there's people walking and coming around, and it's a mall. So
now you have to deal with the retail of it. You have to, in the fact that you're going to have to staff it. You're going to need to have knowledgeable people there to show people and do demos, right?
Yeah. We're gonna have to have a knowledgeable pickleball person there all the time. Yeah,
You should
and yeah.
challenge people. If they can beat you at pickleball in the store, they get a free court.
Well, we don't have a real court. We have like a dink wall. It's called a dink wall.
Uh-huh.
So they're gonna, you can like test the paddle in there, but we don't have a court in the store. The store's not that big.
And now you'll sell paddles and balls and everything
Paddles,
else.
bags, balls, yep, everything. Ball machines. Everything.
And when I was talking to Bryce, he says you guys are also looking at doing some training.
He wants to do training. Bryce's girlfriend and him, they're both certified pickleball trainers. I am not. I don't have patience for that. So,
Did he meet her at
so
the
he does
pickleball
train.
court?
Bryce trains. What's that?
Did he meet her at the pickleball court?
I think, to be honest with you, I think it was a pickleball dating website.
So,
but I don't think they thought it was that. I don't know. Again, it's a story from Bryce. You take it for what it's worth and go with the flow.
Match.com or
I don't know
Tinder
what it was.
for pickleball players.
I don't ask. It's Brycey. Come on, bro. So.
I love it. So Bryce is now dating off the pickleball site. But hey, listen, if it could be a good relationship, and they can end up playing a lot of pickleball together, and he can get better, so he can try to beat you.
Yes, agreed.
So what's next up? Where do you see yourself going in the next couple of years on this entrepreneurial journey?
I don't know. Wherever it takes me, I don't know. People ask me all day, what else you want to do? You want to go in partners with something else? So we'll see.
A lot
of
people,
as you know, I do the cleaning.
Have wanted to partner with you too.
Many people have wanted to partner with me. I have a partner with, as you know, paver protector. Me and Alex do that. Cleaning,
the paver
sanding,
protector, we didn't even get into that. So that's an offshoot again of Tozzolo and Island add-ons. So after someone installs pavers, a couple of years later, how many years later do you think it's usually before somebody does the paver?
They got to wait at least a year till after I do the project. So the pavers cure, they get all the airflow out. It's got to go through all 4 seasons. So minimum, it's a year. Usually people call in 2 or 3 years after I finish a project.
I don't know if you know this, but last summer, my mom got her pavers redone by Alex, paver protector.
I did know that.
Alex
Rose is a big fan of Alex.
Rose is a big fan of Alex.
Rose is a big fan of Alex.
They had a banter between the two of them about they both know me, and my mom said to him, "If you don't do right, I know a guy who can take down your website." And he went on to tell her that he knows the big boss, so if there's a problem, he'll call me. So I love the fact that Alex and my mom had a banter between them over the couple of days that he was there doing the job. But again, at the end of the day, my mom said he did a fabulous job and is a huge fan of Alex. So
Alex has got a good personality. He's very good at what he does, so he's good. Yeah, good fit.
And then you also you have an offshoot off of your pavers protector doing Christmas lights.
Oh, yes. We do Christmas lights also. Christmas lights by Paver Pro. Yes.
So, the one thing from a branding perspective, Christmas lights by Paver Pro just seems weird. You're on the ground doing paver work, and now you're on top of the house doing the Christmas
lights. Absolutely. But obviously, when it gets colder, we wrap up our Paver Pro season, end of October, beginning of November, and then the Christmas lights roll right in. So it actually is perfect. It's great.
So you go from November, to like mid-January to start taking them down?
Yeah, we go, right before Christmas we stop, and then we start back up, usually like, January 7th, and then we start taking down all the lights. We store them. It's a whole service for the customer. So it's awesome. Actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome that you store them too, because I don't know, most people don't want them, or
we do store them. Alex has about $20,000 worth of Christmas wreaths that are in his physical office that he looks at every day. So
there you go, Alex. Good for you. And now is the plan to expand that service this upcoming year?
Big plan. Now that this was our first year we did it, so we have it down. Alex is very knowledgeable in it. He knows what we're doing. We train the guys, so we're in good shape with that. And that is reoccurring also. Heights? I think he used to be. He definitely is not now.
Listen, once you do it a couple times, you just get better at it.
He's even better and better. So that's a reoccurring business too, and that is, we're going to grow that in leaps and bounds this fall also. Definitely. It's a good business.
I also think the younger generation doesn't, the guys that are a little bit younger than us, Doug, that they don't want to do that kind of stuff. It's not, they're more into the tech side of the house than they are on, you know,
Totally agreed.
home services. So again, when you look at your world, I think it only just continues to expand because more and more people want the nicer things. They want the lights up. They want their pavers clean. They want masonry and paver and backyard experiences. But it's not something like I remember 15 years ago. I thought I could make. I did it. I built a patio in my first house. Me, Bobby Rodini, my cousin Joe. Shout out to those guys. It's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday morning. I think it was a Sunday. And Bobby says to me, with me and Bobby living in the same house, and he goes, it's Jill's birthday this Saturday. I'm gonna have a party at the house. I said, great. He goes, you want to put a patio in? Sunday afternoon, we're at Home Depot. We're at Home Depot. We know nothing. When I bought the house, there was a pool, like an above ground pool in the backyard. And I said to them before they moved out, before the transaction, I said, listen, you got to get the pool out of here. My mother we've never had a pool at my house when we were growing up. And my mother's like, what are you going to do with an above ground pool? And I was like, I don't know, just leave it. And she was like, have them take it before you do the closing. So I tell them to take it and take it down, which they did. And they leave they leave rocks. It looks terrible. So we get, I get in there and Bobby's like, wouldn't it be cool if we had a patio? So I called my cousin. I was probably maybe 25, 26. I called my cousin.
This is
Joe.
More than 15 years ago. This is like 20 years ago.
Yeah. If I was 25, it was 21 years ago. So I called my cousin Joe. He's home from college. He's very handy. And I go, Joe, what are you doing for a week? He goes, I don't know. What do you got? So I said, you want to build a patio with me and Bobby? Now, meanwhile, I have work. I don't have days off. Like I'm doing this at 5 o'clock at night. So we decide to embark this Monday. Bobby goes to Home Depot. When Bobby gets something in his mind, he's going to figure it out. Like he's going to work on it night and day until this is figured out. Goes to Home Depot, Bobby. Gives me when I get back from work, he's telling me, we need this, we need this, we need this. So now we're at Home Depot Monday night and we start laying pavers on Tuesday. We're grading, we're setting the levels and this and that. And, again, aesthetics wasn't the key here. Like we got these 18 by 18.
I remember. Concrete
blocks.
Pavers. Yeah, I remember. They were like red
patio blocks. Because in my head, I said an 18 by 18, we have to get less of them. So again, from a financial standpoint of money I didn't really have to put into my backyard, and the idea that we would have less work and less pavers to actually install, that's what we did. Well, by Thursday, we're still a hell of a way away. I took Friday off from work, and Joseph says to me, Tom, there's no way we're going to be done. And I was like, Joe, we're going to get this done. Don't worry, we'll get it done. Bobby didn't work Friday. I didn't work Friday, and Joseph is going to be there all day. And we hired a day laborer from Farmingdale. Shout out to Farmingdale for having the day laborers. And the three of us plus the day laborer by 4 o'clock. By 4 o'clock Friday, everything was done, sanded, and sealed, and we were ready to roll for the party on Saturday.
It was a big patio for your size yard. It was like a 600 square foot patio. Remember?
I know. It was definitely bigger than what we should have done. But I think when we were planning it, we were just trying to get that pool area fixed. So talk about 20 years ago, craziness. That's what it was.
Those were the days.
I know. When you look back, you look at Hicksville. That happened in Hicksville, Long Island. But man, what a place that was. The party was rocking that Saturday. And
good old
I never looked back. So, I mean,
good old Hicksville.
When you think about that, like, these young guys, I don't think that they could hack that anymore. So
no way.
I think that, you're the guy. And again, I think it's, taking advantage of social media and taking advantage of the online world, because that's where these young buyers are going to find you. I know that the market's in a little bit of a weird spot right now. We had a real estate forum recently, and we hear from the realtors and the mortgage guys, but as this kind of shakes out, like I think that people are going to start looking to update their house. No one likes to see their house sitting like that. Everybody likes to do improvements on it.
People love to do it.
People love to do it. People love to entertain too. So like, again, to your point of some of these pickleball people, it's a social aspect. And, when they do their backyard and they have the outdoor kitchen area, that's what it's all about. I'm in the process of looking at an outdoor kitchen myself at the moment. But I, had one at my previous house, and it was just a great place to just have people over, have a good time, socialize, and enjoy.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Always.
You
know
have an
that.
outdoor kitchen at your house now?
Of course I do.
All right, good. I was gonna say,
The money pit.
you decked out that house. You've done from where it started.
Spent a lot of money, but yeah, it's beautiful now.
I feel like that's your answer to everything. Spent a lot of money.
And I have a pickleball court at the house.
Ah, that's awesome.
I have a pickleball. We did a pickleball court in December there, so yeah.
Have you let Bryce play on it yet?
We haven't really played on it. We just striped it maybe 2 weeks ago when it was like we had a 60-degree day.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We striped it that day. We're actually going to play on Saturday. We're going to get a bunch of guys over there.
So now you don't have to
Saturday.
wait for that court that you brought me to, where you have to like put your paddle on the fence.
You don't have to paddle up. You just play and we play. Yeah,
play and go. So
that's it.
So as we kind of start to wrap this up, I want to, I want you to tell people where they can find you, where they can find you online. I mean, we're going to have to go through a few websites and socials, and where they can find you on social media. So I know let's hit it from the starting point. Start with the Island Tizzolo, then go into your irrigation, your paver protector, and finish a pickle.
Island Associates, Instagram, Facebook. It's Island Associates, .com, island-associates.com. What's my social media? Do you know it? I don't even know the tag.
Are you talking to me? Your website's islandassociatesinc.com.
INC. So I was wrong on that one.
Your Facebook, to give you a little help here, is Facebook. They can find you at Island Associates.
There you go.
At Island Associates. And then your Insta is Island_Associates.
There you go. So you can find me there on Island there. Tizzolo is the website is Tizzolo and Son Construction.
No, the website's Tizzolo Construction. Maybe I'll just help you with this.
Yeah,
your website's Tizzolo Construction. Then you have islandwaterworksinc.com.
Yep.
You have paver protector, lipaverprotector.com. That's lipaverprotector.com. And then you have,
and the Instagram is paver protector at Instagram. That one I know.
Oh, how do you know that one? You can't remember the other?
Because he always posts great videos, so I always know. That's how I know.
Yeah, he loves to post his videos.
Because he's young. He's 30-something years old. I think he's 35. He's living the dream. Totally. I'm a dinosaur. Me and you are dinosaurs. You know that.
Listen, I try not to be a dinosaur. I try to keep young.
I'm a dinosaur.
That's why I hire young people, so that I
You're right.
I stay young.
Good move.
And then your last site is playpickleballli.com. Again, playpickleballli.com. And I think the good thing is you have different phone numbers and ways to contact you on all your sites, so that it's very easy to get in touch with the right business, and where they can, they can get in touch with you. You have a great call service during the day for anyone looking to book appointments for Island and Tizzolo.
I do.
So, all right, Dougie, with that, we're going to wrap it up. But thanks for getting on today. I really appreciate you coming on as one of Wingman's first clients ever. And, 15 years still going strong.
It's 20. It's not 15. Maybe it's 18. I don't think it's 15.
All right, I think it's 18, but Wingman's been in business 15. Before that, I had lihome411.com.
411.
And that's where you first met me.
That was the bomb. The home show days were the best
home show days.
Those were the best. That's how I met you, at the home show.
That's where you met me.
Those were the days.
All right, man.
All right.
Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon,
Good
brother.
talk.
All right.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.